Trading Nut episode 153.
Make your technicals, your trading as simple as possible, because there's a lot of mental stuff that you need to deal with. And if you make your trading simple, you don't have to think about it anymore. And only thing you need to deal with is your psychology.
The market's going to do something. Your job is not to fight it.
The market never, ever runs away. It's always there.
That personal diary of trading will make you a much better trader than...
I could be right about the direction, but wrong about the trade.
Don't focus on the monetary side.
Trying to make too much money on a trade is what I have seen killed every trader.
Your losses offer you some of the greatest insight you can find into your mistakes.
Relax, learn the process.
Candlestick pattern trading is a freaking trap.
Don't be in a rush to become a millionaire.
Let the market tell you what the market wants to tell you.
This podcast is not financial, trading, or investing advice of any kind. What's up, traders? Welcome to another installment of the Trading Nut podcast. I'm your host, Cam Hawkins, and today we've got Dovy FX on the show. Now, if that name sounds familiar, well, Dovy was one of my guests on Trader versus Trader, which was a backtesting challenge I ran back in April this year. Now, Dovy wasn't just a contestant, he actually won the whole challenge, and he did it very convincingly. He got 30% over 5 trades in the final, and he got like 20% in 5 trades in the semi-final. So this guy absolutely destroyed the challenge, and I thought I got as much out of him as I could during those probably 9 hours of footage that we shot, where he was actually taking trades on a backtester. Now, I thought I got it all, but I found out I didn't. That's why I got him back on the show and did a full-on podcast interview with him. He drops so much value in the show, guys. It's coming up in a second. I know you're going to love it. And then afterwards, we jumped on a price chart, and he drops even more value, and you can actually see how he takes a trade. I thought I got a fair idea for how he did it when I was doing the backtesting challenges. What I found out was I didn't. This breaks it down fully in a lot of detail, so you got to watch this to get a real unique and interesting single kind of, I suppose, edge in the market that you could potentially repeat yourselves. Now, other things going on here at Trading Nut, we've got the Genius Trader, which I keep mentioning, and I can see in the comments people are getting frustrated because it's being mentioned but nothing's showing, and you're not hearing any more about it. Now, it is coming this Friday. I'm actually recording something with the other person involved in Genius Trader. So guys, that will hopefully mean that once that's recorded, we can get this out probably in the new year, maybe before, I don't know, we'll work it out, but it's coming. Trust me, it's coming. Along with some other cool shows, we've got someone who's been in the industry for so long, trades retail now, was traded in every single firm you could possibly imagine. That is coming up. Some amazing institutional knowledge there, as well as we've got somebody who was an ex-Top Gun. So they actually did the Top Gun flight training, and they now are a trader. So they obviously did the training and passed it, but they're a trader now. So we've got them coming up as well, along with a bunch of other cool episodes over the Christmas break and into the new year. So that's all coming up here on Trading Nut. Now, other things going on here at Trading Nut, we've got the Happy Singles bot, which I built for December 2021. You can get access to that if you join my Robot Builders Club, and it's part of my robot lab. So it's running on a demo account. Did 2% of the first week, which is fantastic to see. We're running for the month of December. If you join in December, you get access to this. After December, it disappears. So if you're looking to automate any of your trading, semi-automate it, fully automate it, then go and check out my Robot Builders Club. I teach you how to use this software called FX Dreamer and build trading robots without any coding at all, and you can pretty much automate virtually anything you can dream up. Alright guys, that's all over there at tradingnut.com, but for now, let's get on with the show. Hey folks, my sponsors City Traders Imperium have just launched some amazing changes to their funded trader program you got to check out. You can now skip the whole evaluation, trade gold as well as Forex, plus they've increased the drawdown you're allowed in both the evaluation and when funded. With CTI, it's even faster and easier to reach up to $4 million in funding with a 50 to 70% profit share. Click the link in the description to find out what else has changed. All right, folks, here we are on Trading Nut. We've got someone who looks fairly familiar to the show if you've been around for a while. We've got Dovy FX here, all the way from Lithuania this time, not the States. How are things with you, Dovy?
It's been great. It's been great, moving step by step, educating people, trading myself, and just life here in Lithuania is much easier, and I'm happy to be here.
Well, guys, if you don't know Dovy, he's completely unfamiliar to you, well, here's a quick sort of potted history. He went and did my TradingView. Was it TradingView replay? Oh, I don't think it was a TradingView. I think it was the Forex
Trader
Simulator.
versus Trader.
Yeah, Trader versus Trader, Forex Simulator Challenge. And you came out top of the table. In fact, I think you got the highest score out of anyone that did it, which is phenomenal, which was something like, I think the first time we did it, it was based on R. The second time we did it was based on percentage, and I think you got like 30% or something after 5 trades, which was amazing. So, guys, we're in good hands here today. Dovy's going to give us a story and then sort of give us some hints and tips for you traders out there. So, to start off, Dovy, how'd you get into this trading gig? Because I can't even remember what we spoke about in the shows that we had.
So, basically, couple weeks ago, I was thinking about how my whole life I have been going against the odds, right? So basically, when I started looking into trading, I was playing Division I basketball in the United States, which is NCAA division, and the statistics says that only 2 to 3% of the basketball players get into that level of basketball. So I was already going against the odds, where only 2 or 3% people make it. And then I kind of started looking into trading because...
Can I just ask a question? I mean, of the 2 to 3% that make it to NCAA, and then how many make it to, what percentage make it to the NBA?
I think it's 1 or less than 1%.
Wow. Okay. So this is the top elite basketball in the world, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I was like already with that mindset of, okay, if I made it here, I can make it same thing somewhere else. And since I've been into basketball for 15 years, and I kind of realized what kind of passion, what kind of work ethic it takes to get there, I kind of realized that I want to do something else that gives me more freedom, that gives me more, I want to be my own boss rather than depend on some agents or some coaches, So I kind of started looking into stuff like, drop shipping and stuff like that. And I kind of stopped at trading, and I put my head down and I was like all in, like before practice, after practice, during the night, I was just kind of trading, And there was this one time when during the practice, I told coach, look, coach, I want to go to the bathroom. I run to the bathroom and I just check my phone to see how my trade is going. And after I came back home, I really asked myself, do I want to keep doing basketball, or do I want to like transform to trading, So I really asked that question, and I was just like still giving myself some time to realize if I can do this or not. And I kind of I fell in love, I didn't fall in love with trading because, you can make this and this much money. It's because I actually liked analyzing charts. I actually liked being wrong. I liked being wrong because in trading, if you lose money or if you make a mistake, only one that you can blame is yourself. And trading is kind of like looking at the mirror. It tells all your frauds, like if you are disciplined or not, if you have a good work ethic or not, if you are mature enough or not, and all these kind of stuff trading tells you by showing results that you get if you're winning or losing. And if you are strong enough and if you are passionate enough, I think passionate is the strongest word in trading, then you can overcome all these things and just become profitable, become successful in this business.
That's what you said there, where the fact you liked being wrong is something that, I mean, for me, I listen to you say that and I think, man, that's one of my problems is I don't like being wrong. So can you sort of, I mean, you've had a few clients come through your training and stuff over the years. I mean, can you sort of give us some insight into helping someone out who doesn't like being wrong?
It's, look, the trading is like a trial of error. It's like, imagine you are looking for a cure for COVID and if you were wrong, you would just put your hands down and let people die, So it's the same way, like you are trading and you're wrong. You don't want to let your hands down and kind of give up. It's like every time you are wrong, that means you can write something down where you were wrong. And after many, many times of being wrong, you have this list of things where you was wrong. And then you can actually kind of like decide, do I want to keep losing and doing these things over and over again? Or do I want to do opposite on these things that I have listed down after many, many errors and many, many hours and kind of become profitable and become, successful? So it's your own choice. Do you want to be successful or not? So basically what I tell to my students all the time, I tell them, write everything down. Write your every mistake down. So after you have this list of things where you lost money because I did this. I lost money because I was trading off my phone. I lost money because I wasn't disciplined today. I lost money because I got into a fight with my girlfriend. My mindset wasn't right. I lost money because my risk management wasn't right. And you have all these lists of things where you lost money. And then only thing you need to do is to make a choice. Do you want to keep doing these things or do you want to do opposite and start winning money? So that's kind of my mindset.
That's awesome stuff, guys. I mean, I would replay that and listen to it a few times because it's something I've struggled with, is trying to, even in a back test, I don't like being wrong in a back test. So it's like, I don't want to do this manual back test and do 10, 20 trades and then find out that the system didn't work. So then I'll start adapting it during the 10, 20 trades and completely undermining the system. By the end of it, I don't even know what the system is. It's completely made up. It's not even that. There's no sort of factual stuff behind it. I mean, it all goes back to what you've said there in terms of those hints. Write it down, go back and read it, and then make a decision, which I think is the key thing there. Now, you talked about heading off to the toilets to go and check the charts. What on earth, what education did you do, or what training, or how did you get to the point where you knew or you thought you knew what you were doing?
So basically, I was a self-learner, YouTube. Let me tell you something. All these courses that are in the market, I would say 5 to 10% of them are original. All other courses are just everything that you can get on YouTube, but just placed in the right order, and all these words said from that person that you bought the course from. Because I'm a live example of self-taught trader. I was just looking YouTube, Google, baby pips, all these things. If you are passionate, you'll find a way to educate yourself, and you don't need to spend like thousands of dollars. I would if you find a trader that you like, that you prefer, of course you can buy a course and maybe that will help. But basically I learned the basics, and then I kind of started looking at the charts myself. I was kind of back testing and I was focusing on trend lines when I just started.
And why did you focus on trend lines? Why was it that? Why was that the thing you thought after, out of the whole of Google, the whole of YouTube? Why did you decide on trend lines?
So basically, it's because the price only moves up, it only moves down, or it consolidates. So if it moves up, it kind of moves in this channel or this trend line, And after it breaks down, there's a probability that it's going to start a consolidate or reverse and move to the downside. So basically, when I started back testing, I was like, how do I find a particular price action where the trend line break and it starts to move down? It's like, for example, if the price was moving up, because there are a lot of fake outs on the trend lines, right? So I kind of started looking at the price action, and I found this 5-leg move that I kind of created, that I noticed. So it's because I'll show you later on the chart, but it's kind of like series of the lower lows and lower highs that needs to happen before I take a trade off the trend line break. So basically, many hours of back testing, and kind of only thing you need to know is basics, and everything else you can find your own. I would say every strategy has to fit your personality. So basically, if you are following some person and you're learning from him just because he's driving a nice car, it doesn't mean he's gonna help you to become successful, because his trading style may be different from your personality. What do I mean by your personality? Are you really patient? That means should be more of a scalper or a swing trader? Do you work? Do you have a full-time job? Do you have a half-time job? It kind of has to like adjust to your trading style, you know? So every strategy has to fit your personality. And when you just start to learn trading, after you learn those basics, you need to find a strategy, or you need to find a system that fits your personality. And that's one of the most important things, I believe so.
Now, just diving back into backtesting, because I think it's quite an important thing for guys starting out, and especially if they're going to take the route of, you know, just going to YouTube or Google and trying to find it out themselves. I mean, can you sort of take us back to those days when you were backtesting and the notes you were taking and things that you might have, or obstacles you might have come up against?
So basically, coming back to the same thing, I was taking notes every time I was wrong on the one paper, and every time I was right on the other paper. And for example, I was testing out one strategy. I was writing these things down. Then I was backtesting another strategy and writing these things down. And it's kind of like, you kind of start to get that feeling, you know. I don't know how to explain it, but after you do this stuff for some period of time, you kind of like start to get this feeling. Like you see a couple candles and you kind of already know that it might reverse here, you know. It's not 100%, but it's just, you kind of start to get that feeling, because I read articles somewhere where it says if you do something for 10,000 hours, you can call yourself professional in that thing, because scientists said that it takes 10,000 hours to master anything that you do, anything. So basically, after you do it for so long, you kind of start to get that feeling. I don't know. There's a lot of you can talk about back testing. You know, it's.
I mean, what did you have on those? So you had. I like the idea. You had a bit of paper for what you did right and a bit of paper for what you did wrong. What were you writing down on those?
So basically, my mistakes, my entries, because every time I was back testing and entering the trade, I was also writing down the risk. I also had a journal where I was like, this pair, this day of the week, this hour, this risk that I'm taking, this mindset. I also post, like, you know, where you can copy a picture on TradingView. I would also post a before and after picture of my chart of the trade. So it's kind of like, as much data you can gather, the better, you know. It's kind of, it's all there for you to take it, but it's on you if you're going to take it. You know, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of dedication.
It sounds like that. I mean, how long would it take you to do one trade, just with all that, taking screenshots and writing down notes and finding the trade?
It depends, but like when I just started, it would take a lot of time, you know, to get used to. But once you already like have like a couple hundred trades like that, writing down, you kind of start to get, you know, make it quicker. But I would say to find the trades up to 5 minutes and to write everything down, another 6 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's interesting. I actually, twice now, I've come across like doing things, well, it's actually slightly different from what you've said. It's more like doing things quicker to try and really get it inside your brain. So once somebody said, like a very good trader said to me, who hasn't been on the show, who said to me, hey, look, you know, try and do this within 2 minutes. And you want to try and do the whole analysis within 2 minutes. So you're struggling to really get it done. But over time, you start to see things a lot quicker. And then I just decided to do it myself, like literally 2 weeks ago. And I found that after doing that, I got exponentially better than I was even 3 weeks ago. Yeah. So I think there's something to do with not just doing it, but also doing it with a bit of speed as well. Okay, cool. So how did you go from that transition of like college student to part-time trading to full-time trading?
So basically, when I was, like I said, when I was playing basketball, I kind of started learning about it. And then when I made that decision that I want to quit basketball and go into trading, I kind of was at break-even stage. So basically, I would be a break-even trader. And along the way, my profits and my consistency increased. And it's been some time that I've been profitable. You know, it's kind of, after you become profitable, you kind of relax and take a deep breath, because when you're learning, you're losing, you have a lot of stress. And what I always tell to my students is there's 30% of technicals, somebody say 20, and 70 or 80 of mentality in trading. And what I say to my students, make your technicals, your trading, as simple as possible, because there's a lot of mental stuff that you need to deal with. And if you make your trading simple, you don't have to think about it anymore. And only thing you need to deal with is your psychology. So basically, right now I have a trading plan I have a supply and demand zone. I need 3 things to take a trade: trend, momentum, and zones. If I have a trend, if I see a clear momentum, and if I have the right zones, that's it. That's all I need. Now, only thing I need to deal with my psychology. I need to be patient. I need to use the right risk. I need to exit and enter positions on the right time. So basically, if you make your trading as simple as possible, it's going to be way easier to deal with your mentality and your psychology in the trading. So that's what I teach my students.
And so in terms of entering your trades at the right time, I take it you're doing, well, actually, I'm trying to do it from memory. Did you do limit orders or market orders to get in?
Market orders. Market orders.
So you need to be at the chart when something happens. So what time frames are you trading?
So lately I've been trading US 30. Mostly I've been trading US 30, and I would look for the trend on 4-hour to 2-hour time frames. I would look for momentum on 1 hour and 30-minute time frame, and I would look on entries on 15 and 5-minute entries for entries time frame.
Okay, so that means you must be like looking at the chart, or have you got a routine to look at the chart so that you're not there for like 6 hours of the day?
Exactly, that's a really good question. So basically, another thing that I tell to my followers, or whatever you want to call it, Lately, I've been only taking from 4 to 7 trades a week. When I was when I just started trading, I would take 10 to 30 trades every day. That's crazy. When I think about it, that's crazy. And I have some students as well that come in and like, yeah, I take 40 trades every day. I'm like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
Like, that's so hard to deal with. Yeah. So basically what I do is I come to the office, I mark the charts, I set alerts, and I close the chart. Because every time if you look at the charts the whole day, you're going to have this sense of feeling that I think it's happening now. I think it's happening now, when it's not. So basically I mark my charts up, I set alerts, and I'll leave this alone. I get alert on my phone. I open the charts, I execute the trade, and I'll leave it alone. I only manage the trades when they are open, So I have become such a stress-free trader, and I love it so much. It's like when you have a pretty big capital, for example, FTMO, if you have 100 or 300K accounts, it's like 1% gain is 3,000 euros or dollars. So basically all you need, like if you make 3% that day, that's $9,000. I think for me right now, that's enough. So basically that's all I need. I just relax. I set alerts. I have a trading system that works just perfectly, and I love it. My followers love it, and it's such a stress-free right now for me trading life. I have a lot of time to do other things. I have a lot of time to build other businesses and brands, kind of expand and stabilize my income. It's like I really preach and teach my members to make their trading as simple as possible.
Cool. And so are these alerts being set on what time frame?
So basically, I don't know. Are we going to go on the charts?
We will go on the charts. Yeah, we'll do a video after this, but I'm just sort of just so that I can get my head around.
Okay, so basically, when I'll show you an example, you're going to see so for example, if the trend is going up and the momentum is going up, and you still kind of have like this little retracement on, for example, 5-minute time frame, I just need a break of the high of that 5-minute retracement, and that will be my entry point. So basically, that's it.
So you'll put a break, and it's a break of whatever level, but it could be 5 minutes away, it could be an hour away, depending on where things are. Okay,
exactly.
So cool. So it's a level and is that level on the hourly chart or the 4-hour chart, or
it depends. It all depends.
Okay,
I wouldn't say it's anywhere above 1 hour.
Okay. Well, 4 to 7 trades a week, I think that's still up there for some of my guests. Now, what about when of those 4 to 7? So assume you take 7. How many are you going to win?
Depends. Depends on the week. Like 2 weeks ago, I had a winning streak of 12 trades in a row. 12 winning trades in a row.
Really?
Yeah. And then you could have like 2 wins, 2 losses. Then, for example, 3 losses. And then again, 10 winning trade streak. I had a 13 trades winning streak, I think 1.5 months ago. And now I just had a 10 or 11 winning streak a couple of weeks ago.
Damn.
So
that's high, man. That's high. And I mean, look, when you were doing the trader versus trader challenges, you were going for quite high risk to rewards at some points. I think some of it was like just part of the challenge and trying to win it. What's your tip? Do you have any? How do you get out of a trade?
I always set 3 take profits, but I don't set them. I just have them in my head. So my first take profits is always 1-to-1. 1-to-1. Second profits is on the level above where the price could bounce down. For example, if I'm taking long, where the price could react. And the third level, especially if I'm trading US 30 and it's at all-time highs, I would just look at the round numbers. So 35,500, 36,000, the 35,750, all these bank numbers. And how I would manage that trade is basically, when I have my TPs, I would just read the price action, how it reacts to my TPs. So for example, if it hits my TP1 with a lot of momentum, it's going up strong with some big bullish candles, I would not do anything. Why would I do anything if it's like going up?
It's going to go through your 1R. You're happy for it to run, yeah?
Yeah. So basically, and if it comes to TP2 and it kind of starts to wick, starts to slow down, then I might be taking partials or I would be setting stops to break even. So I always say again to my students, read the candles like you read the words, like you read the book, because they all have a meaning. Like they all say what the price wants to do. Because like, once again, when we're back on the chart, I'm going to tell you how you can see it when the price is kind of slowing down and it's kind of picking up momentum. It's you just have to read it like you read the word, like you read the book. And once you do it for such a long time, it's going to come. You're going to just have that understanding.
Yeah. So do you have like if you're trying to teach somebody else how to read candles, I mean, what do you get them to do?
Just all these candles has names, right? So there's bullish engulfing candle, there's a shooting star candle. So basically, let's say you take a long trade and there's bullish engulfing candle, smaller bullish candle, smaller, then it's kind of long, couple long wicks, and then bearish candle. You can say that by reading the price action. Then, okay, it was strong momentum, but it's kind of starts to move down. That means the bears are taking over. And even if when you had that strong momentum to the upside, it's still pushing down. That tells that, okay, the bears are starting to get back into control. So just basically wicks, candles, engulfing candles tells a lot. Yeah.
And where do you think people, when I say people, traders get caught out by looking at candles? Where do you think guys who, keep losing, that they're not getting 10 out of 10 trades, 12 out of 12, what do you think's going on in the market, or what do you think they're doing that's helping them screw themselves over because people are tricking them?
Amazing question. That's an amazing question, Cam. And I have a really simple answer. So basically, let's say I have a zone below and you have a 4-hour candle to the downside, 4-hour bearish, big engulfing candle. And they would not pay attention to that. They would go to a 5-minute time frame. They would see some rejection. Okay, it's rejecting here. It's going to go up. No, the previous 4-hour candle is a strong bearish candle. Why? It's basically smaller time frame is like a magnifying glass of what's actually happening. So basically, you look at the 4-hour time frame, you can kind of use smaller time frames to magnify that price action that's happening in that 4-hour time frame candle, and you get a lot of information from that. And people don't understand. They have these specific rules that they follow, but they don't follow the price action. So basically, you kind of have to look at all time frames to have that overall bias of what's happening. So basically, the trend is up, and I have a price bouncing with strong momentum. I go to a lower time frame. I see long wicks on that zone. I'm good to take a trade. It's basically it would be way easier to me for me to explain with the chart.
Yeah, I think I understand what you're saying. Yes, you got to you can actually work out what's going to happen if you go to a lower time frame and check out.
So basically, you have an overall you have overall bias, overall trend on the higher time frame, and you just kind of like zoom in 15, 5, 30-minute time frames to see what's happening inside of that. So I would say for all the traders, kind of pay attention to all the time frames and kind of have an overall bias of what's happening.
And when you're in a trade, and let's just try and take maybe 3 time frames. Let's say the 1 hour, 15 minute, and 30 minute. Should have done it in the right order, but how many of those candles, when you're in a trade, are important to you, or do you take note of from a percentage point of view? I know it's a weird question, but
No, I understand your question. It's so basically, let's say the trend is up. I have a demand zone below. I need the price to come to that demand zone before continuing to the upside, right? So I wait for the price to come down to that demand zone. I look for some wicks to show that the price is rejecting that zone. And then I need 3 5-minute up candles or 2 15-minute up candles for me to be like sure enough that, okay, this level is respected, this level is rejected, the price is now moving up. And with that, but also really important thing I like to notice, one of the biggest mistakes that traders do is instead of guessing what's going to happen, you have to react to what's happening already. And that's going to increase your win rate a lot. Instead of guessing what's going to happen, react to what's happening already.
Well, that's cryptic, but I think I get it.
So basically, let's say I have a level and the price is way above here, and you guess that the price is going to come down here and then shoot from that level. That's a guess.
Yeah.
But if you wait for the price to go to that level, you wait for the price to start moving up, to actually wait for it to start happening and then enter the trade, that's going to increase your win rate drastically.
Yeah, gotcha. Now, that sounds like something I got told ages ago. I mean, around blind fading levels, which is like it's going to hit the level and go. And you blindly hoping that it's going to work, and you're not doing what you just said.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Okay, cool. Right, so you trade, do you only trade US 30 now? Only US 30?
So basically, I focus on US 30. I trade on my FTMO accounts, US 30. I would always look at the Forex pairs as well. But right now, I'm looking at Forex more of a swing trading, So sometimes I would hold Forex pair trades from 1 to 2 weeks, So I just look at the 4-hour daily time frame. I set my analysis, I set my alerts, and I leave it alone. I have alerts set. I would say 1 to 3 alerts go off during the week for my Forex pairs, and that's how many trades I would take on Forex. But every day I trade US30. Sometimes I wouldn't have a setup on US30. But if I have a setup, I do live sessions with my students every day. I trade live US30. I call out those trades, and I enjoy it a lot. US30 is really nice.
It was interesting though, because when you did the challenges, you were basically doing any pair, and I think like sometimes the other trader picked the pair for you, and I don't know if you did US30 or any. You might have done gold. So why have you migrated to US30, and why do you like it so much?
So basically, when I was doing that challenge, I was already trading US30, but only for myself. I wasn't sharing that with anyone. I kind of was like telling to myself, I need to be master of this before letting anybody else know that I'm trading this, or teaching anybody else about trading this. So once I mastered it, once I felt comfortable about it, that's where I went public. But why I chose US30 is because it's way easier to read that fundamentally. So basically anything happening in the world, you kind of easier to kind of have that feeling, okay, where it's going to be the bias on fundamentals. So for example, you have COVID outbreaks, you have protests, you have lower or higher. Yes, exactly. It's way easier to read fundamentally. And technically, when you only read one thing, it's kind of gets under your skin, And if you focus only one thing, after some time, it's going to be part of your, brain. So I kind of have US30 written back in the back of my head.
Now, you sort of touched on this, but what does your typical trading day look like?
I would come to the office before a London session. I would mark my charts up. I would set alerts. Before that, I would go to the gym. And then after I set my alerts, I would be working on some other stuff, like posting YouTube videos, writing down education, writing down analysis for my groups, for my students, replying to emails and stuff like that. And if my alert goes off, I call that trade out in my group. I take that trade myself. And every New York session, every day, I share a Zoom link to my followers, and we trade live in New York session. So basically, it's not just like trading, me calling out trade, but it's also like kind of speaking to each other, sharing each other's knowledge, sharing trade ideas and stuff like that. And after New York session, I would take some last notes, take some last looks of the trades I took or I didn't take, and that's it. That's all. That's my day.
Awesome. And what do you think made you different from other guys out there that you can see are struggling, or they're not making it work, or they've got other challenges?
Passion and long-term vision, I would say. I would say passion is the most important thing, because if you are coming to this business just because of the money, and you don't actually love reading the charts, you don't actually love being wrong, you don't actually love, kind of getting through these challenges, then it's going to be really hard. If you only want to make money, it's going to be really hard to learn. And yeah, that's I think really important. Yeah. I was really passionate about it.
And that's interesting, eh? And in terms of the money side of it, I mean, why did you not have any desire around the money to start off with?
Like I said, it's because like I had that long-term vision that I said. The second thing about being successful is if you fall in love with this, if you actually get through this, the money will come, the money thing will come. Maybe the first year you're going to make $100 on a trade. Maybe in the next year, you're going to make $1,000 a day. Maybe in I'm 22 years old, man. I'm 22 years old. After 5 years, I'm going to be 27. I'm still going to be pretty young. So I have this long-term vision of not, rushing things, just kind of taking it slow, and, that's it.
Okay, so let's see if we can put you in the shoes of somebody who's working a day job. Maybe they're 35, they've been working for a while now, maybe 15 years, don't really like what they're doing. How would you get them to start growing an account? What steps would you put them through?
That's a great question. First of all, I would put all my time unfollowing all the traders on Instagram and just kind of, because that's really important. Like when you see people that are already successful, it's really hard to be patient and be, kind of trust the process. And I would put my head down and learn and backtest and write things down and take your time, because if not 1 year, it's going to be 2 years, but it's going to be still successful if you're going to keep doing this. And put your head down into demo trading, into education. Then put, for example, put $250 into your account. If you make 10% on $250 account, it is as impressive as making 10% on a $100,000 account. So once you start transfer into that live trading, once you start having that little fear, a little greed when you're trading live money, and you overcome that, then you can start looking for investors. Then you can start to look for FTMO accounts and stuff like that. So kind of like first step.
CTI accounts.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Education, then small accounts, trying to fight the greed, fight your patience, fight your risk management, and then kind of start building up from there.
Brilliant. Okay, cool. And 3 things to educate yourself on if you're jumping onto YouTube or Google or whatever. 3 things a trader should start educating themselves on.
Reading the price action. Right now, I would say supply and demand levels. And the third thing, I would say, the third thing would be psychology, trading psychology.
And in terms of like the supply and demand levels, do you have a certain way that you draw your levels up, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the same time. It's the same way every single time.
It's pretty much the same. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now, talking about psychology, I mean, do you have any sort of special techniques or tips you can share with us?
Yeah, I mentioned the one that I do every day. It's analyze the chart, set alerts, and close your computer. That's you're gonna avoid a lot of losses and a lot of stupid trades and a lot of mistakes by doing that. Because before I would find myself really like looking at the charts 24/7 and executing trades that I shouldn't have and making dumb mistakes. Is once you read the chart, once you analyze it, once you know you're going to enter, set alerts and leave it alone. Let the price do its thing. If it goes to your level, then it's okay. And if it doesn't, come back the next day, read the chart again, set the price alerts once again, and repeat that.
Cool. Awesome stuff. Well, look, we're going to jump into the quickfire round here. You've answered some of the questions already, and then we'll wrap up. So how long did it take you to go from newbie to consistently profitable?
I would say just above 1 year.
What's your favorite entry setup?
Trend, momentum, and supply and demand zones.
You've answered the next question, but what's your recommended trading book or resource?
YouTube.
Do you have a preferred broker and trading platform?
I would say Global Prime I'm using for my live accounts, but I'm personally on FTMO.
Hey folks, ever wonder what broker I use? Well, I use HankoTrade. It was a no-brainer because I was looking for a broker with good trading conditions and one that wouldn't restrict my leverage. Now, by joining HankoTrade, I've also cut down my trading costs significantly with their super low commission of just $1 per 100K. You can learn more at hankotrade.com or just click the link I've put in the description. Do you want to walk us through your worst ever trade?
Worst ever trade? I wouldn't say it was the worst worst trade. It was worst set of trades. So basically, I lost one trade. I tried to win back that trade. I lost that trade. I tried to win that trade. And it was like 5 losses in a row on the same day and over like 11K and like loss, so it was stressful.
Right.
And then you kind of, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, go on, mate. Go on.
Yeah, it's like, and you next day you have to come back with that, mindset where you lost a lot of money and you kind of have to breathe and start everything over again. So that was pretty stressful.
And losing 11K, I mean, how many days or weeks would it have taken you to make that back?
I remember that time, but right now, sometimes it takes 2-3 days.
Righty-ho. Brilliant. Well, look, before we wrap up, can you leave us with our listeners with one piece of advice?
I can say couple. Just be passionate about it. Find yourself falling in love with this stuff. Find yourself falling in love with being wrong. And like I said, instead of trying to guess what's going to happen, react to what's happening already.
Awesome. Well, look, Dovy, it's been great to have you on and get your full story and not like little bits and pieces during these challenges, which I think we missed out on heaps. And it's been probably 6 months, if not a year, since we last had you on. So thanks for coming back on. Now, what's the best way for the guys to get hold of you?
So I have an Instagram, Dovy.fx. There's a lot of fake accounts, so Dovy.fx. You can reach out to me there. I have a link to all my Telegram and stuff like that. But if you have any questions, you can follow me there. And I have a YouTube channel, DovyFX Trading.
Brilliant. Well, look, a big thank you to Dovy for sharing with us today. Everything we've discussed here, along with all those links, are going to be in the show notes. To find them, simply search for Dovy, Dovy, in the search box on tradingnut.com. Until next time, wish all my listeners trading happiness and success. All right, folks, so there we are. We've finished that interview with Dovy. I know you would have got a ton of value out of that. I loved it. I also loved the video we shot afterwards where he breaks down what he does on a price chart. You've got to go and check this out because it does introduce you to a very unique pattern, something that nobody else here on the show has talked about in the amount of detail that he's gone into as well. I was quite surprised. And in fact, I didn't really get it from the Trader versus Trader series, but I'm sure he was using it there as well. So you could probably watch the video, then go back and check out Trader versus Trader and see if he applies it and where he applies it and how he applies it. So guys, definitely go and check that out on the YouTube channel if you're not already here. Genius Traders coming, recording something this Friday. That should be hitting the airwaves soon, along with a ton of awesome guests that are coming up on the show. Now, if you do want to get access to my Happy Singles bot, it's still available this month of December 2021. After that, it disappears forever. It's done 2% in the first week. Now, you also get with that, obviously, to get it, you've got to join my Robot Builders Club. You get with that the skills to build fully or semi-automated trading robots to help improve your trading. So the doors are still open for that at the moment. Come on board. Ask some questions. I've got a chat there as well on the page. If you do want to get access to that, head over to Trading Nut. You can ask me questions about it if you're unsure about anything, and I'll talk you through it there. You actually do talk to me, not one of my support staff or anything like that. You do talk to me on that Robot Builders Club page, so you can happily ask questions away. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.